So hello, Renee. She's Renee Clemens, the director of the District of Public Schools in Saskatoon. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you today, Pablo?
I am very good. So this video. The idea of this video is to show the kids how is the district from your point of view, since you live there and you run the show.
Absolutely. Well, we are a school district of about 28,000 students, located in a city of 320,000 people. We're a very vibrant city that loves all four seasons. So if you're up for adventure, this is definitely the place to be. And we have, for high school students, 9 different high schools to choose from, 2 of which are adult education, and the other 7 offer your typical grade 9 to grade 12 programming. We have a number of unique programs that are very, very special and are often a huge draw for international students. So this is definitely something to check out about us. These include sort of some social justice-based programming in grade 9 in the form of Off the Grid, as well as Collective Voice. Then for grades 10, 11, and 12, we have a variety of options. For grade 11 in particular, we have outdoor school and media school, which again are very focused on specific areas, but allow you to do your academic work as well. If you are interested in working with your hands, we have a load of industrial arts options, as well as visual art, tech sort of things. And if you're looking to do that maybe one day as a career, our classes really set you up for great success once you enter the workforce as an adult. So we have a lot of great options in that sense. And then, of course, our 3 sports academies, which are open to grades 10 to 12. And those are Dance Academy at 2 of our schools, Soccer Academy at 1 school, and Softball Academy at 1 school.
Okay, you already said how many schools you have for high schoolers, which is 7, if I remember correctly.
7, yes, for grades 9 to 12. If ever you have adult learners, we have 2 additional schools as well. And then
And
those schools is mixed, where it's 9 to 12 with an adult program campus.
and how many exchange students do you have average per season?
So right now in our international student program, we have about 100 students, but we're growing quickly. We will have another 15 or so joining us for semester 2 here coming right up. And our applications are still open until May for the 2024-2025 school year. So we're anticipating quite a lot of growth, not too much, of course, but probably another 20 students for the following year. So we are still a small program compared to many, but we are small and mighty. And that gives us a lot of advantages for providing really personalized one-on-one support for the students that we welcome to our district.
You already talk about how it's Saskatoon as a vibrant city and everything. Can you elaborate more about that? Because
Absolutely.
nobody knows here about Saskatoon. I had to tell you.
Yeah. Well, Saskatoon, we kind of get overlooked in the middle of Canada. We're such a big country that I think people forget about us. There are a few misconceptions about Saskatchewan. One is that it's entirely dark and cold all the time. That's totally not true. We actually have a very vibrant summer season that gets quite hot, actually. We have every season, we have all 4 seasons. So we have a really beautiful autumn. Spring is also a really exciting time. And I think, again, if you're looking for adventure, a big difference from Spain would be that we get snow in the winter and we take full advantage of snow and of winter. So if you come and study in Saskatoon, you're going to have the opportunity to explore all 4 seasons through things like free festivals that are happening all the time in our city. There are always people out and about doing things. We have a vast, vast network of trails that are great for leisure and for transport. So in the summer, people are cycling. In the winter, they're cross-country skiing on them and snowshoeing. So there's so many opportunities for getting around and leisure, no matter what season it is. And then really, it's just, even if you don't like being outside, there's so much happening indoors, because sometimes we do have really cold days. When I think about my high school experience, I was a very serious basketball player. And so I luckily didn't have to go outside too much. And that wasn't really my thing. It very much is now. But at that age, it wasn't so much my thing. And so I think if you're interested in outdoor adventure, or being inside, or if you're sort of like most people where you like a mixture of both, Saskatoon is a great place to be. And our school district has done a really good job of creating strong partnerships with a lot of the organizations that exist in our city. And that's really great if you're hoping to do, of course, a lot of things in school, but lots of things in the community as well, because we are able to provide priority access to facilities like aquatic facilities, fitness facilities. We run a soccer academy because one of our schools is directly attached to our city's soccer center. And, you know, partnerships like the Saskatoon Public Library and things like that with City of Saskatoon, it makes it so that you have priority access to events as well with lots of discounts. So even when students arrive, you're going to get a booklet full of coupons to go and do fun things at a discount. So it's just really nice if you're on a bit of a budget to come somewhere where the cost of living is really reasonable, where there are lots of free activities. And of course, there's lots of extracurricular stuff going on within our schools that will give you plenty of diversity in your time here.
You already talked about the weather. How cold it gets during the winter?
Yeah, how cold does it get? It depends. So I was actually just telling Pablo earlier that right now it's December in Saskatoon, and usually we would have, you know, a nice snow cover on the ground, and it would be maybe -15. Right now, it's only -3 and we have 0 snow. It rained yesterday. So it kind of depends. I used to say it was quite predictable. Now, maybe not so much, but it can get as cold as -20, -25. However, it sounds scary. It's really not. The key is to dress in layers and to keep moving. And so when you're outside, usually you're doing active stuff and you're perfectly comfortable. It's very, very manageable. If it weren't, people wouldn't live here, I promise.
But do you guys have public transportations for the kids to use and be independent? And is it safe for them to use it by themselves, including during the night?
Great question. So we, again, with these partnerships, we have the city transport, which is in the form of busing. And so most high school students take the bus to school. You're even able to buy your bus pass at your school directly. It's about $59 a month, which is really great, and that gives you unlimited rides. And again, Saskatoon is a very safe city. It's not too big and it's not too small, so it's quite easy to get around. And that bus system is very efficient and functions primarily for students, I would say. Students both in university, we have 2 major post-secondary institutions in our city, and then also our numerous schools make it that the city bus serves mostly students. So it's very safe to get on and off at any time of day. Of course, we wouldn't recommend super late weekend nights necessarily. You want to be safe and be with a buddy like in any city, but it is a very safe and efficient system to use and very cost effective.
And with the number of students that you guys have, can you accommodate like special, let's call it needs? Like, let's say that we have a kid that he is ice skating competition kid, as I have one kid asking about that. Do you guys can find a family that it lives close to an ice skating rink or ice skating club that, you know, accomplish the requirements of these imaginary students?
Absolutely. So what I like to do is working with agencies, if they have students that have really particular interests, if I know ahead of time, I can provide all the information for getting involved both at the school level, if it's something that's offered in schools, and also in the community. And myself and the homestay coordinator would do all we can to find, you know, that perfect homestay placement where the homestay hosts are maybe sharing that interest or else live near those facilities and are or able to help with transportation there and things like that. So for example, so far we've worked with competitive swimmers, we've worked with a horseback rider, so we're able to find kind of almost anything. If it's very, very niche, I can't make a guarantee, but you know, even though our city is on the smaller side compared to maybe our bigger centers in Canada, I would say we offer just as much variety. And so we would be able to accommodate most of these special interest type situations.
How big is Saskatoon? How many people live in Saskatoon?
Yeah, 320,000. So when you do an online search, the census data is from 2016. We're actually growing quite rapidly, and we are due to grow by another 100 to 150,000 within the next 5 to 10 years. So our city is growing quickly, and what's wonderful about that is from an economic standpoint, we're doing very well as a city and as a province, and that means that even though we have a lot of great infrastructure already, there's always more and more being developed. So it's actually very cool to see how the city is changing and growing. And I think we're only going to be able to offer more to international students through time.
And what kind of host families do you guys have? How do you choose them, and how are they usually? Kids, no kids, all of them?
Yeah, we're so lucky to have a really great variety. So sometimes it's just a couple with no kids. Lots of our families have already had kids through our district or the Catholic district who are familiar with schools. So maybe their kids have already done that, or maybe they still have kids attending. And so the great part about that is that these families have a really good understanding of how schools work, what's required. And so that puts them in a really great position to support our students. If there is a family that maybe hasn't had students go through school yet, myself and the homestay coordinator are very much in touch with those hosts to help. As a team, we're very involved. And so we believe that the best program is built with a team who is proactive and who is supportive. And so with myself, the homestay coordinator, and also our in-school advisors, our students come with a lot of one-on-one support. And so that means that if there were an issue or a challenge, we are here to help, and we make sure that things go smoothly. So our host families always have good English and speak good English. Some have been here a long time, some maybe not as long. But one really cool thing about Canada is how diverse we are and how we have people with backgrounds from all over the world over centuries, right? So you can expect an English home, but that may or may not have kids, that may have older adults, maybe like mid-age adults. We have all kinds. And actually, one really great thing, one last plug for that program, is that we have hosts that have been hosting, 5, 10, 15 years. So our hosts enjoy it so much that they continue and they take multiple students. We have a lot of experienced hosts as well.
Perfect. You already talk about different courses or classes that you guys have. If I recall correctly, of course, media school, as my student who's going to study in your district, who is very into media class. You also said can you repeat the important weird classes that you guys have, different classes?
Sure. So outdoor school would be another one that is quite particular. So if you're a student that is really active and likes the outdoors, I would say that's probably an important criteria. Then outdoor school would be the thing for you. Of course, you would still take your academic classes like your English language arts, your mathematics, your science. But outdoor school uses a land-based approach. So what that means is a lot of your learning is done outside and it's hands-on. The great thing about that program too is they get to travel. So lots of times they will do a multi-day canoe trip. So you're camping, you're canoeing, you're portaging, and they usually go up north in our province. So it's a really great opportunity to see other places in Saskatchewan. I know we are known as the Prairie Province, but actually, again, that's such a misconception because we have a lot of variety in our terrain. So in the very north, we have tundra. We're also part of the Canadian Shield. Sort of up north, but in the middle of the north, we have really beautiful lush forest. We do have prairie as well. So it's a great opportunity to see the diversity that our province offers. So outdoor school is great. That's a 1-semester program. For skilled trades and construction, there are a couple of options. So we have a huge variety of trades classes that you could just take as one elective. So if you wanted to do woodworking or welding, or if you wanted to do something more technical like robotics, we have all of those options. But we also have a carpentry program that's 1 semester. And as a student, you are exposed to every type of trade involved in the construction of a house, and you actually build a house.
Wow.
Very interesting. We actually have sort of those, not stop animation, but like those time-lapse videos of a class building a house. It's really cool. So then you get to explore you know, how to wire a home, how to do the plumbing for a home, the framing, the drywalling, and even so much as the finishing and interior design. So it exposes you to a lot of different trades at once, and also gives you certain certifications as well. If you were to stay in Saskatchewan or in Canada longer, you would have some certifications to take with you into your career, which is pretty cool. Instructors of that program are actual tradesmen with red seals. So very experienced people who share that knowledge. I had talked a little bit about grade 9 programming. So we have two that are quite social justice based. One is called Collective Voice. And that one is really all about, it's very language arts focused, but they actually produce a radio show. And so they'll talk about different areas of interest and, you know, build awareness on both local and international issues of importance. They'll do all kinds of campaigns and they work in the community as well. So lots of community service opportunities. And this is great for international students who want to get out there and see what a community is really like. Another option in grade 9, as I had mentioned, is Off the Grid. And so this is, again, social justice based with a lens on sustainability and ecology. So it's all about, you know, how can we help the environment and build a future that is safe and strong for everyone. They raise bees and sell the honey. They run a community gardening program. They do like recycling and composting within their very large school. And so they spend quite a lot of time outside as well. And then, you know, inside, kind of developing these ideas and campaigning and building awareness on the importance of sustainability. What else? The academies. So an academy is still located within a high school, but we have 3. So Dance Academy is for grades 10 to 12. It's located in 2 of our schools. And again, you would still have your academic classes, but then you would have focused time on the study and performance of dance. And so that is what will earn you your arts and phys ed credits. It's a great way to focus on an area of interest. You don't have to be the best dancer in Spain to join something like this. If you have an interest in dance and have a little bit of experience with dance, that's really all there is for a prerequisite. Everyone is welcome, and it's about developing your skills and learning more about the various styles and techniques in dance. You could also do just a dance class, or you could do a dance club. There's sort of different levels of involvement. We have a soccer academy as well that runs 1 semester for grades 10 to 12, and it's the same idea. So your phys ed and science credits would be offered through the study of physical fitness, the sport, and then you're still taking your language arts, your math, and all of that. And that school is directly attached to the soccer facility that we have in Saskatoon. It's our big soccer center. So you have indoor pitches, outdoor pitches, you have like a full fitness facility, everything. So it's really great. And then lastly is our softball academy. And so softball is similar to baseball. So it's with a bigger ball. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. It's very cool. And so this is for athletes who love softball. Again, you don't have to have all the experience in the world or be the best athlete ever, but if you have some interest in that sport, it's a great option. And actually, there are some travel opportunities with that program as well, where you get to go and see kind of a baseball camp. They usually travel to the United States and check out, you know, one of the universities that run a baseball academy there. So really cool opportunities, along with just the general courses that we offer that are of good quality and are very interesting and excellent. And I would encourage you, if you're interested in studying in Saskatoon, to check out the different course offerings we have, because there is such a huge variety. And every school might offer sort of a variation. So if you wanted to do an English class, but you're really interested in speaking, there's a debate 30 at Walter Murray, you know? So we have like all these specific classes that are really interesting and engaging for kids.
Wonderful. Those a lot of things, very cool things to do. I didn't ask you this. I'm assuming that in everywhere in Canada is available French classes. There are available classes in French, or not necessarily, or just French class?
I will explain, because of course it's more in depth than just yes or no. So we have 2 French offerings. One would be what we call core French, or just general French, and that would be for someone who's sort of just starting out, kind of beginner level. And we have that in grades 10, 11, and 12 at certain schools. We also have French immersion. And so this is a really cool opportunity for students coming from abroad who have a lot more French experience and are quite fluent. We would be able to put you either in a subject class or in language arts, specifically in the French immersion stream, so that you would have the right level of challenge that you need. So French Immersion is a program offered in Canada from kindergarten to grade 12, where students take all of their instruction in French, but they are typically either English speakers or have another first language. I myself went through French Immersion, and I was a French Immersion teacher for 12 years. So it's a program that I really love and believe in. And so that is another option for students that might be a bit more advanced in French. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our other options. So we do have a Spanish program, and I know that wouldn't be of interest to Spanish students per se, but we have Spanish in our schools. We also have Japanese, and we have German. So there are other options depending on maybe languages students have already studied or maybe new languages that they'd like to try out.
Absolutely awesome. I think I have everything I need for this video that hopefully will attract a lot of kids to your district and to your city. That I think is a very cool small city with everything you need that not too many people know about it, and hopefully they will. And they will join the district hopefully.
Yes. Well, we would be so pleased to welcome you. And thanks for watching this video, and we'll hope to see you soon. Please reach out anytime if you have questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Renee.